Hi, I'm Joe Seeman, and I'm running for New York Assembly in the 112th District, challenging the incumbent Mary Beth Walsh. I'd like to respond to her recent comments on the governor's budget proposals, and I'd like to talk about what Ms. Walsh said, and more importantly, what she didn't say. Ms. Walsh had criticisms, but didn't offer any solutions whatsoever. She laughed derisively, claiming the governor wasn't dealing with the budget shortfall, but ironically didn't at all tell us what she's going to do about it. Nor did she tell us about what she's done about the budgets over the past 3 years. But I can tell you, she's done absolutely nothing. You see, Ms. Walsh doesn't have any say into this year's budget, just as she hasn't in the past 3 years, because she hasn't worked with the majority. So frankly, she can't be your voice. I'm running as a working families Democrat to give the people of this district a voice in the budget. How our taxes are spent. Whose taxes go up and whose taxes go down. What services are cut or improved. A voice in the critical legislation we need for the future of our upstate New York. Ms. Walsh briefly mentioned funding Medicaid and local government costs, but she didn't say anything about what we can do. I'll tell you what we can do. We can replace the ripoff of corporate health insurance with public health protection instead, which will mean health care for all of our families, which will dramatically cut medical administrative costs, which are plaguing doctors, and which will save 98% of New Yorkers' money, and will dramatically cut local governments and school districts' health care costs, which will mean savings on our property and school taxes. That's what I'll be fighting for in the Assembly. Has Ms. Walsh fought for your family's health care? Ms. Walsh red baits and bashes the idea of equity as socialism. Well, equity means fairness. Look it up. It seems that everything that we want to do to help the people in our communities, not the profits of Wall Street, ends up being bashed by out-of-touch politicians as socialism. Public health protection, protecting our environment, decent schools for all our children, clean energy for our children's future, all bashed by Walsh and the Republicans as socialism. They want it to be a scare word, to demonize those of us who refuse to take legalized bribes from billionaire corporate interests. And let's remember, the communist Soviet Union, they called themselves socialists, and these same Russian communists are now Putin's oligarchs, and Walsh's Republican Party actually welcomes their interference into our American elections. And Ms. Walsh implied that giving fair funding to poorer school districts means that other school districts will suffer and will cause taxes to go up. But she's trying to divide us, and let's not fall for that. We can make the billionaires pay their fair share of taxes, and we don't have to steal from some school districts to bring others up to par. That's what I will fight for in the Assembly. Ms. Walsh criticized cannabis legalization. I say we can legalize it, take it out of the underground organized crime economy, and use the taxes as part of our budget solution, just like our neighbors in Massachusetts, Vermont, and Canada. And Ms. Walsh, of course, wants to throw out bail reform laws that simply say people accused of crimes shouldn't be treated differently based upon whether they're able to afford to pay bail. I want fairness, the same rules of justice for rich or poor. She fearmongers about dangerous people being let out of jail, but she's perfectly fine with the same people let out if they've got plenty of money to pay the bail. If there were problems in the bail reform law, why didn't Ms. Walsh, who we're paying to represent us, do anything before it passed? Well, obviously, because Ms. Walsh has no solutions to offer in the legislation and the budget that the Assembly passes. I will be your voice. I won't take money from corporate PACs and billionaires. I'll represent you. And if you're listening, Ms. Walsh, why don't we get together in front of the people of Saratoga and Schenectady counties and let's talk about these issues. We don't need to wait for formal debates. Let's have a dialogue with our voters. I'm looking forward to hearing back from you, Ms. Walsh. And to the people of the 112th District, I hope we can all engage in civil, respectful dialogue about what our children and communities need. Whatever your party, background, beliefs, anyone running for office should hear your concerns. So find out more about my campaign and let's join in the conversation at upstatenyjoe.com. Thank you.